Oh, hi. Welcome to Silent Screams, Loud Strength. In today's topic, we are confronting defeat and getting over it without losing ourselves, or yourself rather. So, ground yourself and be steady. Welcome. So, today, as we talk about something that doesn't get addressed, it gets dressed up nicely on social media. Actually, it does. Defeat. Defeat is not failure. It's lessons learned. It's not a grown error. I mean, the moment when someone hits you with that in the chest, you think, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore. If you ever walked away from a courtroom or a conversation or a relationship or a financial setback and felt smaller than you did before, and you walked in, and this episode is about you. So we are talking about accepting. We are going to pretend defeat never hurt. No, it did. We confront it. We are going to confront it, and we are going to talk about it, and we are going to address how to get over it without losing ourselves in the process. So take a breath with me. Let's begin. What defeat actually is. Defeat is not the same as failure. Failure is an outcome. Defeat is a feeling. And that, my friends, the feeling lives in the body. Defeat feels like heaviness in the chest, tightness in the throat, a drop in your stomach, a sudden thought. What's the point, you ask? It's not just mental, it's psychological. So when you experience defeat, especially repeated defeat, the nervous system can shift into collapse. Not fight, not flight, not even freeze. Collapse. Lower your energy, lower your hope, lower your movement. And if I haven't been fighting something, a long-term legal battle, maybe financial stress, institutional resistance, relational harm, defeat doesn't feel like an event or one event. It feels like a culmination of things. And here is the important part. Your body reads defeat as threat, not ego threat, survival threat. That's why it feels so intense. But the dangerous part, or the aftermath, so the dangerous aftermath of defeat, the most dangerous thing about defeat is not the event itself, it's the internal narrative that follows. I am not capable. I am misjudged. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I was wrong to try. This is where defeat tries to turn into identity. And that's where, in fact, we have to interrupt it differently, because you are not defeated. You are experiencing a defeat. This is the difference. You experience defeat. One is temporary, and then the other becomes permanent. It only becomes permanent if you accept it as truth. So after defeat, the mind wants to remunerate. So You replay, you reconstruct, you rewrite the argument in the shower. You have an imaginary conversation with yourself. But, rumination is not strategy. It's emotional looping. And looping keeps you stuck in the psychological state of loss. So before you get over it, you regulate. Not bypass regulation. You walk, you breathe, you eat, you sleep, you move, you hydrate. You do not rebuild from dysregulation. You rebuild from steadiness. So confronting it honestly, really, getting over defeat does not mean pretending it didn't matter. Of course it did. It means assessing it without attacking yourself. Those are two different positions. What actually happened? What was within my control? What wasn't? What did this cost me? What did this reveal to me? The last one matters the most. What did it reveal? Because defeat reveals structure. Sometimes it reveals gaps in preparation, gaps in support, gaps in the system, gaps in boundaries, and sometimes, this is the important part, it reveals systematic barriers that were never yours to carry alone. So not every defeat is personal or inadequacy. Sometimes it's structural resistance. Sometimes it is misalignment. Sometimes it's timing. You do not internalize what belongs to the context. You extract data from it. That is, sovereignty. You extract what made the defeat happen. So you start the rebuilding process. Here is the practical process. So, contain it, give yourself a window to feel it, journal it, cry if you need to, be disappointed, be honest about the defeat, then close the container. Do not let it spill into weeks of your identity of erosion. Extract intelligence. Every defeat contains information. What skills are needed for reshaping? What conversation do I need to reframe? What system needs adjusting? What boundary needs strengthening? Extract the data. Pain without reflection is suffering. Pain without analysis becomes strategy. Pain with analysis becomes strategy. So restore your trust. That's the step you need to take. Defeat damages trust in ourselves. So rebuild with small integrity acts. Keep on promising yourself, today I'll complete task 1. I'll move my body. I'll clean my space. I'll send 1 email. I'll write my to-do list. Momentum builds dignity. So decide. Do you continue? Do you adjust? Do you pivot? Do you pause? You need to be intentional. But decide. Drifting is silent surrender. Drifting is silent surrender. So don't drift. The identity shift for you is to pay attention, to be honest, and say, Instead, I lost, you say, I am learning. Instead of, this proves I cannot, no, say, this shows where I am, need to refine, where I went wrong. Instead of I am defeated, say, I am in a recalibration season, because defeat is often not an ending, it's compression before expansion. So the people who rise are not the ones who never experience defeat. They are the ones who refuse to build their identity around defeat. And here is the quiet truth. If you are still here, still thinking, still reflecting, still breathing, still trying, you are not defeated. You are in a process, and that process is shaping you to your success. You are not defeated. If this feels heavy for you today, if something didn't go your way or the way you hoped it would, if you feel smaller than you did yesterday, I want you to hear this clearly. Defeat is an experience, not your identity. You are allowed to feel disappointed, but you are not allowed to disappear. Take one grounded action after this episode. Just one. That's it. We don't rebuild our lives in a day. We rebuild them in decisions that shape us. This is Silence Screams Loud Strength. And thank you. And strength is actually not loud, it is steady. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you next time.